Hello and welcome everybody to another podcast episode here on the TPM football channel. I am Reina, of course, and I'm joined by Radorf, just like his last time. Hello,
Hello,
man.
everybody.
For the first time, as you can see, the name has been changed. It's now Spectator List, which is more something to do with us because we often find ourselves on the Spectator List. Um,
Okay.
Yeah. But it's also because it was his idea, Stoppage Time, but as I'm not doing the show with him anymore, it makes sense to change the name. And anyways, I'm also trying to make it a more common thing, do it more on schedule. You try to make it weekly. I promised that last time as well, but then again, it's been a monthly thing right now. But let's see. Moving on to the events we have coming up, it will be the first thing will be TPM April Fool's Draft, which will commence on 1st of April. Obviously, it's just a one-day event. It's organized by Said. You can register for it on. You can. What the hell am I saying? You can register for it on the YouTube channel, not the I'm done with COVID and my head is stuffy and I'm just completely messed up right now. Yeah, you can register obviously on the Discord channel. We have the events category and there under April Nemesis draft category you can see the Say's message and then you can react to that and you'll will be in the consideration for it. As I understand, it's not made in like public rooms or so. It's obviously like teams. I've seen Said create proper event teams for it, and players will be loaned into it. It will be 7 against 7 and bot goalkeepers, and there will be as many games as possible as Said claimed. So we'll see if it goes well. And obviously, I didn't talk about the whole point of it, which is that captains will choose players into the opposing side, meaning that you can maybe very easily mess up the opponent's game by I don't know, let's say you just choose a full attacking side and then that's one way to mess it up. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be fun. It's on a Friday evening, so I believe we have a lot of players online as well, and who still haven't registered, you can. There's over 2 weeks time, obviously, until until 1st of April. So, and the second one will be TPM Triathlon, which will be combining a lot of the mini games. There was an announcement about that as well on the official server. You can go ahead and read that. The idea was, of course, because we've had so many mini games, I wanted to combine some of them now, and which we haven't had as events yet, such as the volley challenge. And yeah, there have been already a lot of people signing up, and the whole cool way it will be played is that all players will be in one big table, and it will be played in the Swiss system, meaning that every player gets to play a few games, and in each and every round he will meet a player that has performed similarly to him, which means we will have quite equal matchups, and there might be a few surprises as well. People rising through the table, maybe starting with a loss, but then building on that, and obviously the whole point of it is to play shooting challenge, free kick challenge, and volley challenge with every player. And later on, you will move into the playoffs, and the top three will get different prizes as well, which are listed on the tournament page and on in the announcement as well, I believe. So go check that out as well. There are still three empty positions, I believe. Already a lot of players have signed up, 21, I believe. So go ahead and check that out as well. But now, Radolf, I've been blabbering for so long. I hope you're still here with me.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, and we
I'm
are
just
moving.
thinking
Yeah,
how bad I am shooting faults.
what do you mean?
Uh, Taking set pieces. I cannot take any set pieces. I always hit the the barrier or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the point of this event is to like challenge the skills of players across different categories because some players are stronger in just free kicks, maybe some are better at finishing or just controlling the ball. Like what is the essence of volley challenge. So um, I think it's going to be fun because the points will be awarded basically by how many points you score in each event, and that's how the ranking will be determined in the table as well in case of tiebreakers. So yeah, but let's move on
Right.
to the cup. Obviously, the cup group stage has ended, and I'm sorry, I think I am at the wrong. Yes, this is the right picture. So this is the group standings. I think you can see them as well, right off. Endgame, Final Fantasy, Special Forces, New Factory, Galatasaray, and Victoria are the teams to go through. We see some surprises as well. Neither one of the not a cruise teams went through. Very very sad for us.
Unlucky crew.
Yeah. um, well, and there have been some obviously interesting games because we haven't had overviews since the first round. As you can see, Nopico actually sits in the bottom of Group B and Barca Prime on fourth. And Barca Prime actually withdrew from the competition before their last round, which means that Victoria got an easy 3 points off the back of them. So maybe Barca Prime could have mounted a challenge, but they just didn't have enough players. They barely had about 5 or 6, and they decided to pull out early, which is unfortunate. But that gave a second ticket to Victoria pretty much and improved their chances. And as you can see, they just finished like a point above Barca Prime in the end.
Yes.
And I think we wanted to also see the best goals. Zilval already uploaded the compilation of the best goals on the TPMFA YouTube channel. Go ahead and check that out as well. And we'll be going over some of the better ones as well. I think the first one for me would be obviously the Krostov's goal against was it now Barca Prime, the long volley across the box, which we did show in the first episode as well, I believe.
Yes, we showed that goal.
Yeah, and gonna throw it show one more time, and now I have lost it completely. Amazing. Yeah, right. There it is, and yeah, there's the goal, and yeah. A very nice, simple, not very simple, but I mean, it was the only, I think the only goal out of the contesting ones that was scored pretty much straight from air as a completely clean volley. I think Justin Bieber was close to,
Well, he made it look easy, right?
yeah, he did,
Because
yeah, yeah,
he made like he launches the counter attack and then finishes the volley off
yeah,
like
yeah,
he was making a single pass. So
yeah,
congratulations to Drozdov. TPN is very easy, as you can see.
yeah. TPM is easy if you come from net soccer, that is, and yeah. We and now I want to show the second goal, and that will be, I believe, Pathkid's goal, obviously, which is also from the first round, which we also actually show in the first episode as well. But just to refresh all your memories, I'm gonna show you once again that nice pass from Sage over the top. Paskid was actually already avoiding Lodi. He was already ahead of him. There was no offside because he was right below the half midway line and nicely slotted into the top corner. I'm sorry, and that's a nice classy goal. Nothing too crazy about it, but very well tricked Melody out of it.
Yes, Melody is is going very forced because Pascal receives the ball in a shooting position. So I think he's kind of trying to to plug the holes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when Pascal goes backwards, Melody doesn't have the time to really cover him. Maybe it's not even possible because Pascal goes just for the perfect angle. So
yeah,
it's a
exactly. Yeah.
very nice goal.
And then we have two goals, I believe, from Ilval's compilations. These are Ilval's footage. I didn't clip them actually. This being the first one, which is Polter's goal against Victoria SC. This is from the game that ended 15-3, I believe. 18 goals in one game. I didn't clip any one of them because that was just too much to process. But that goal is really, really pretty. And even though it was simple, it was a one-on-one situation, but the way he shot it from such a long distance, from so far out, that was that's not surprising in the case of Poulter, but it's still a very nice finish. And it didn't even try to take Sander on, just decided to shoot and go for it. And I guess it was a sign of things to come in that game.
Yes, well, it's another goal. Maybe it's not possible to defend because the pass is very good from Levy, and just Polter goes to where there is no defender and shoot it in from there. It's a very nice goal from Polter.
Yeah,
Typical Polter as well.
yeah, pretty much. Um, I think we have this one as well. We had to include in Justin Bieber goal, at least one end game goal. I didn't take any of the Napoli ones because I mean most of them were a bit abusing the human goalkeeper, and it could have been every goal situation in the Napoli game could
Yeah,
have been covered by human goalkeeper sometimes, but here, Justin Bieber showing his pure skill, quite far out of the box, nicely curls it into the bottom corner. Nobody could block it. Goalkeeper obviously can't reach it, and nicely done. And game won that game 5-1, I believe, or was it 6-1? I'm not sure anymore, but yeah, very, very Justin Bieber-like goal.
yeah. Those shoots are even tough for these very good players, but when they are able to execute them, I don't think there is a possible defense. Lenz is very, very close to Justin Bieber and still doesn't get the ball.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And just especially when he puts that power into it as well, maybe he does a kick up before it to just make it completely impossible.
Yeah,
I think I have some extra clips now. But if I think we don't have any more very special goals I'd like to point out. At least I don't think so. So what do you think? What would be the best goal out of these four? Maybe the
I
best of the group stage
still
then.
like Drop as the best. I mean,
Yeah, me too. The first thing, first game as well, and it was very
the
nice.
fact that he makes it look so easy, like launching the counter attack, getting to the farthest play he can shoot from, and one touch volley in,
Yeah,
completely unstoppable. I think it's still the best.
yeah. I think I'm gonna go with this as well, and I think that's gonna be the goal of the group stage from us. I mean, it's nice. Lampy's pass as well, accurate, draws the positions himself well. Personally, I like it when players pass back to me as well during like corner situations. The ball comes out of the box or the corner is launched straight at you when you're standing at the edge of the box, and then if you position yourself nicely, you can just shoot right away. I usually miss the timing, but Rostov obviously has very good timing. One of the best positioners in the game as well, so it wasn't a problem for him.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but we'll be showing some extra clips then. What have been we've been gathering now from the rest of the games, more recent games as well, and what do we have there? Well, we could move on straight away to the Final Fantasy Endgame match, like we discussed that a little bit earlier as well. A very dramatic game. Rostov actually casted that, and it turned out to be quite the snooze fest at start. Obviously, a very tactical game between two sides who were playing quite passively, and in the end, a single penalty decided it. But at the start of the game, there was a very good opportunity for Final Fantasy as well, and I'm gonna show you that clip where LM is going to cross. Very nice long ball. Mlody finds it nicely on the wing. Don't mind the nameless player that is Hoffs. My replay is bugged some way, but yeah. Final Fantasy had the build up, they had the possession, but they couldn't convert a lot of the chances. A nice long ball. Inva, if you pause it directly at like this stage here, you can see he could have like used the S key to head it in, but sometimes you decide to maybe it's easier to right click it instead, and it just evaded him a little bit.
Yeah, maybe the jumping slows him down. Maybe if he just slides or head dives, maybe he can score. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's hard to
it's hard
see
to,
the
yeah.
timing, those balls. I never know where the ball is really
Exactly,
going.
yeah, yeah. And with the height of the ball as well, the S could be very difficult to
Yes,
determine, yeah.
I really appreciate those players that are able to head every ball they get, every single ball in the box, because
Yeah.
I always run to the right towards the opposite side.
Yeah. Hoff says he's being censored. Yeah, that is my replay bug. I actually tried to record that game over and over, like 3 times, and each and every time something happened to the replay. Either Hoff's lost his name a good 3 out of 5 times, either the referee was gone, either a player was straight up duplicated. So it was it's a broken replay, and I went with Hoff's not having a name because he's no, there is no censoring in area. Also, Guerrero has asked us about the Nordicro situation. We will talk about the teams and the transfers a little bit later. I think once we've covered all of the clips, but we will talk about that very soon. Um, right. So after this one, I think a lot of this can be skipped. You can watch the game from TPM Football Competitions YouTube channel. I think it was the Endgame Final Fantasy game. But skipping into the end, we will see an interesting situation. What happened? Pretty much, Final Fantasy had an attack, a free kick, didn't work out. PO has it clear, and the clock was ticking down. A few minutes left. They are starting an attack with short passes. McKeon finds Hoffs nicely. Now Hoffs lays it to JP, and I like to rewind it before the whole penalty situation. Um, Final Fantasy had no defense present whatsoever. Lodi all the way back in front of Inua. Hands pretty much between JP and Daxi can't directly cover either one of them. A very difficult situation indeed for Final Fantasy. And what pretty much happened there was Kabe taking the risk, taking the tackle, and well, JP was inside the box. That's pretty sure. So it would be definitely penalty if it's a foul. But I wanted to point out the fact that technically, if you watch very closely, it seems like Kabi strikes the ball first. Maybe it's just the way the ball flies. It's actually JP crossing it very early and Kabi taking the man later after it. It's obviously a question of timings. Oxy probably wouldn't have headed that in anyways. So maybe it's just Kabi's fault, but we also see the goal being scored by JP. Actually, Kabi being the goalkeeper of Final Fantasy. He was the goalkeeper for Rogue as well for pretty long in the league, but in the end didn't work out. So a last-minute penalty goal to decide such a game is definitely quite dramatic.
Yes, and this kind of penalty is so unlucky that
It was,
the
yeah. I mean, it
penalty.
was funny, but yeah. For me, it definitely seemed clean. When I was first looking at it, I thought Kabi struck the ball first, but I might be understanding now that JP might have just crossed it and Kabi was just late in the challenge.
Yes, like right. He crossed right when the ball is not still in possession, but you have this little area that you are already affect the ball,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and then is penalty. But the cross is quite good, isn't it?
yeah. The cross was
No,
good.
the cross. Well, I don't know if Axie would have scored if not penalty, because
Yeah,
it's a bit high.
yeah. It was a bit high. Yeah, but they probably would have still had the attack. I mean, last minute obviously want to clear it. Kabi was looking
Oh,
to
okay.
yeah.
They would have an static attack.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. All right, so yeah, this game ended, which means well, Endgame won every single opposition in their group. Then, meaning they secured the first place. They will go directly into the semi-final. Uh, Final Fantasy got the second place, and just because they're unlucky in this game, or just not up to their maximum. Obviously, Final Fantasy did very well against other teams as well. They also defeated Special Forces, who Special Forces in return actually pretty much deleted Not a Crew out of Group A because that was an important game for Not a Crew, but they lost that 1-3, and stuff like this happens.
Special Forces scored a shit ton of goals, 13.
Yeah, I mean they did score a lot of goals. I'd say their group performance still is a bit underwhelming compared to the last Cup's group stage, but still, they've done well. You know, it was pretty much the death group, at, at least considering the initial draw, and they once again qualified for the quarterfinals. So at least props to them for that. And I think we will also uh, return back to Group B now, and they had quite some interesting games. Obviously, Barca pulling out, meaning there was an intriguing game left between Victoria SC and Galatasaray, which could have decided very easily already the first quarterfinalist there. And in that game, Galatasaray took a very late victory and ran away with it, thanks to Ronin's incredible goal, which was most likely unintended, but we'll get to that as
Yes,
well.
it looked like a cross, but
Yeah.
it's still fun to watch.
Yeah. First, we'll see the nice play from Marek. Steals the ball there, turns away from Shaxen. Ronin was offside, but Aguero wasn't. And that was Galatasaray's start of their comeback, pretty much. And yeah, as you can see, I can rewind that to the position where Marek was gonna give the pass. You can see Major is taking away the offside as well. I'm sorry, Major. Yeah, he's taking away the offside, and very, very nicely played from Marek there.
Yes, they are defending for running position.
Yeah, they were a bit too much focused on him, and that let Aguero nicely escape there. Bit of a mix-up there in positions. I mean, they probably thought Aguero is the winger, but Selçuk Kenan also like pulled up there. Actually, the game started very much under the control of Victoria C, Nurmio, and Oji, the former underdogs players, combining together very well there, both creating each of the goals. And in the end, Galatasaray pulled three back, and now we're gonna look at the last goal scored by them, which was the running situation. And yeah, it's nice. Marek once again providing the pass, and Ronin, of course, doing a heavy amount of individual effort as well. Though, to be honest, gets past Peter, and then yeah, I mean Aguero. If the cross would have been lower, I believe Aguero could have headed that in himself because the cross was at least slow enough.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean
I don't even know how it goes in.
it's not a bug. I did like rewatch it several times right after the game. I believe me and Ilval casted that one, and there was a real what the fuck moment. But yeah, yeah, it goes in right under the bar. Goalkeeper really late to react to that one. Maybe it's caused by the amount of players in the box, and it was just a bit crowded. Maybe he would have come out. Maybe it's just an AI problem, but uh, it was a very very accurate.
Well, all these kind of goals are almost impossible with human computer.
Yeah, that's true because usually, not usually, but the bot goalkeepers obviously are medium size as well. Human goalkeepers are obviously large, so just naturally their hitbox probably would have already grabbed that ball. But yeah, these things happen, and
Yeah.
uh, couldn't be TPM without that. And I don't know. Do you have any other interesting clips to show right now? I do have them, but I have a lot of them mixed up.
Yes, me
Ah,
too.
I
I
think,
was rewatching the Marek Pass
yeah,
because it's very. I like how running is just going out of. It's like making people distracted,
yeah,
and
yeah,
now
exactly, yeah.
Agüero goes from the second line. Maybe if Mayor doesn't try for the offside, can defend, but I don't know if it is possible. Maybe I think Agüero would have scored anyway.
Yeah, I think it would have scored anyway. It was just a nice team play move, coming from the side of Galatasaray, but I think we have one mid round game, and yeah, it is this one, New Factory, not Be Crew, which ended I think 11-1. I think it was to New Factory. And that one goal of Not Be Crew game came from a header, surprisingly, against Rostov and Sepsiak. And the way it came was quite comical because the ball, the cross from Burba, somehow managed to creep its way past both Sepsiak and Rostov, and Matt gets to head it inside. I think he was playing. I think he was playing small this game because not sure, but I might be wrong. To be honest, he might have been large as well. I don't really remember. But anyways, yeah, as you can see, no defender is foolproof. Setsia can Drosta as well, just can clear it. I think Drosta went a bit too far into the goal, so he was already out of it, but Sepsiak just doesn't seem to hit it. So it's a bit funny, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right on the edge of the head.
Yeah, and
He probably touched it. It's so. I would like that you could see the size of the avatar of your player reflected in the graphics of the game.
yeah, it has been like asked many times from players as well, and I kind of understand that, but that means like we'd have to remake every animation. So
Yeah,
maybe there's a time for that in the future, hopefully. Because yeah, I
but
understand
maybe
it would be easier to like discern it. Otherwise, yeah, it's kind of weird when like large players, there's like a good inch difference from the ball in the air, and they can already like right click it away.
because if you don't press escape and just check it, you don't know that you are playing against a large player up until you just collide with him and fall down to the floor.
Yeah, pretty much
Cry
that.
for a minute. Cry for a minute.
Yeah. So yeah, that game obviously went completely under the tempo. No factory. Sepsiak has scored for several goals there, obviously. And yeah, Sepsiak could definitely still be the key for New Factory. I mean, he was the key for Par 7 last tournament. That was the second league season, which they won, pretty much thanks to Sepsiak in these big games. So he could be the key for New Factory still going forward.
Yeah, actually, it's hard to make teams for no factory. They have many pro players. And I wouldn't. I really. I wouldn't be able to say which one I think is the best team for them. It might depend on the opponent.
Yeah, definitely. And Ilval said in the chat then that he streamed the in-game Final Fantasy match. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it was shown in the TPM FA channel instead of TPM football competitions. TPM FA can afford to pay the casting wage for Rostov, so that's understandable. Yeah. Um, we also have a clip from, well, for not be cruel, the most important game, which was against Galatasaray. It was the last group stage game for them, and Galatasaray I think already secured the progression, but it was going to be either not be crew or Victoria getting forward, and for not be crew to progress from the group stage, they had to defeat Galatasaray, which wasn't the case. It ended in a 1-1 draw. And as the equalizer, I actually recorded that game as an F10 and later on sent the recording because nobody could. And then I also recorded me recording the recording because we were in voice chat as well, and I just wanted to like get a mic'd up version of it, and that's the funny clip of us getting the equalizer. I think it's me just yelling a lot there with catfish possibly.
We can record this, so we record you recording the recording.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. I wait. I don't have the goddamn media source volume right. Here it is. I think it here. No.
Let's go. Oh no, blank cartons in it.
Are you playing the clip? I can't. Now I
It is
watch it.
playing the clip, but it is not playing the audio with like properties. Advanced audio properties. Media source. Monitor off. Monitor and outputs. Okay. Now it seems.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, it's playing the audio now.
Oh no, blank cartons in it. I see they switching defensive now.
Alright.
Jackson to wing, blank cartons in defense.
I think it was.
Nice, let's go!
It's one.
Well done, bro.
No.
Okay, first of all, this is the goal of the round.
I can't hear you now. Are
Yeah.
you talking?
I
let's
was letting that clip play. I
Oh,
think
no,
it's,
blank
I think it's done
cartons
now. Yeah. Pretty much the world comment in the end made it for me. So,
It's a very nice goal.
it was a nice goal, to be honest. Yeah, and just
The
wasn't enough.
1-2
I mean,
one-
Galatasaray did have the ball for a lot of the time, and I think we hit the bot. They hit the bot goalkeeper a lot of times. I mean, not with Kroos. So yeah, it was just unlucky. But yeah, we should be moving on towards the playoff bracket now until I find some other clip that was worth mentioning about. Oh, I completely skipped the Special Forces endgame clips, and there was some stuff I wanted to bring out specifically. I think one was this one. Pretty much what happened was that there seemed to be some kind of issues between Flame and Bugs Bunny, and they couldn't pass the ball fast enough in certain situations. Endgame abused that, and they ran away with a 5-1 victory. Special Forces, they could have done better. They had the opportunities, but I believe the scoreline didn't reflect like the final result, and this is one of these situations where we can see Special Forces passing around the ball in defense. Flame passing it towards Bugs Bunny, who was already really close, doesn't receive the ball. It's cut away, and Chepe scores with ease. And these kinds of mistakes repeated themselves several times in that match, and obviously.
But the Flames pass is not a bad pass, isn't it?
It wasn't exactly a bad pass. Yeah, it just seems to be like the positioning issue because Bugs Bunny is like very close to him, and it obviously just goes past, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
Flame and Skiro are the defenders, and they
Yeah.
are both in the right side, so I think that's the problem.
Yeah, one of that was also the problem, definitely. Like the wing was.
Yeah, I think in this
too open.
situation, Rischenko have to, go play a bit more defensive as Skiro is playing kind of wing in this actual play. This is like, I mean, I see TPM like futsal when you see a teammate, even a defender teammate, go kind of attacking. Skiro just offering an option to Flame. The other guy has to patch the defense. Normally, it doesn't happen anything because it's quite easy to pass the ball and to control the ball, but when it happens, it's a very easy goal.
Yeah,
Like this one.
absolutely, yeah. And Ilvo was complaining about the echo. I'm sorry about it. That might very well be the case. I'm trying to improve that. I think, not sure what's causing it. I do have noise suppression off, but it looks like my my headphones might be leaking something then. Anyways, the second situation from that game came from a very similar situation as well. Flame on the ball and try to find Bugs Bunny once again, pretty much the copy. This time, Bugs Bunny got scared away from taking the ball because of Pio's tackle. Then Flame misses a tackle there against JP, or maybe it was just a bit too early of a tackle, and JP finds the back of the net very easily. And yeah, that's once again a bit too easily let off the hook by Special Forces.
Well, it just looks that Flame and Bugs Bunny are not in the same page in both plays. I cannot say that is one to blame or the other to blame. It's just they are one is going running one way and the other is playing is giving the pass
Yeah,
slightly different. And Alex or Pio or whatever endgame player, if you give a bad pass, they are going to easily catch it.
no, yeah, absolutely, and yeah, it's a formidable defense, and you can't really expect to get past it with a few errors in there, because they try to distribute it directly towards wing through Bugs Bunny, because I mean Rozhenko was free on the left during the period, but the ball didn't get there in time. But I think we'll be seeing that playoff table now then, which the playoff bracket now. The first quarterfinal will be actually played already on Saturday. This Saturday it will be between Galatasaray and Special Forces. Both quarterfinals and semifinals will have 2 legs, obviously. So tune in for a few more games. I believe I will be casting the Galatasaray and Special Forces game, and that will be streamed on the TPM SA channel. And Final Fantasy and Victoria will be streamed on the TPM football competitions.
In the first quarterfinal, Galatasaray against Special Forces, I think is the most even, or at least in hindsight. Or later we will see.
Yeah,
Who would you favor? Maybe slightly favor Special Forces.
I would slightly favor Special Forces. Like it's 2 teams, who have to. I mean, it has 2 outcomes. Either in-game have the easiest ticket to the finals, or either one of these teams have to make that step up and find the second gear and actually make a challenge against Endgame. And I believe Special Forces are capable of this. I mean, they did reach semifinals last time as well in the cup, so definitely they don't want that to be their ceiling. But Galatasaray, they've had some transfers in. We will talk about these later. But then again, they've had players leaving as well. So I also believe Special Forces just have that slight upper hand.
Yes, and I don't think it's going to be a free ticket for Engen. I expect them to be in the final. I still expect them to be in the final, but I don't think it's going to be a free victory for them either way.
Oh yeah, I
Either
hope so.
one goes through. And the other one, Final Fantasy against Victoria.
Yeah,
Okay, this one is. I think everyone would favor Final Fantasy, but as they are not really playing super well, it's not that they are playing bad, but I think people expected they be a bit more dominant. I think this is the key word, that they are not as dominant as people would expect. So it can be a hard game if they don't lead the score very early on. The game can get complicated for them.
Yeah. Ilval specified that the finals are also 2 games actually, so yeah, it will be a bit longer then. And yeah, like you said, Final Fantasy have been a bit underwhelming a little, recently, but also they are not the most active team. They play not so often, so maybe they have lost a little bit of that togetherness compared to like Endgame, let's say. But also Victoria, they've had a lot of transfers in, and we will also be talking about that in a second, if I can find all that information now, because Victoria pretty much went through a cleansing phase and now brought in a lot of Polish players once again, similar to the old times, and the current like filler squad got released, which is interesting to see because actually they got some players from New Factory as well. So if Victoria do get past the quarterfinal, we might see some
Drozdov going to Victoria.
No, hopefully not. That would be a bit too much already. But yeah, I think we see Lumpy Q. Oh dear, that's a bit too big. I'm not so sure the hell, what kind of resolution did I make that in? Anyways, this is the table I have about basic transfers between the two, a bit surprising size that come through, right? And Victoria, they did release Playmaker, they did release Arshavin, a Major, Thai, Nurmio as well. Some of them leaving on their own accord, but some of them being kicked. And it's surprising because I say all of them warrant a starting position in Victoria's squad, but if we compare them with the squad that have been brought in, they might have to stand back.
I mean, the Victoria signs are very, very good. I think they are their team step up like one tier.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have any, super player that can carry the game in bad moments, and now they maybe all of these players can win the game by themselves. They can be an actual five. Well, okay, there are six. I cannot even count,
Yeah.
but they can. All of them can form a squad.
Yeah, pretty much. I decided to skip some extra transfers as well. Well, there were more players released and more brought in as well, but a lot of them don't matter. I mean, obviously, they brought in Manas and Lampiki, who are right now in New Factory, which is huge already. Lampiki being one of the key players currently in New Factory. They combined the attack, can combine the attacking trio, Lampiki, Kyrie, and Levisan. But now he's reunited with Manas again, which is always a deadly sign. They've been together, for example, in Route 1. They've been together in several teams across competitions. And we also see Best Player and Derwin duo coming in pretty much after I'm actually bit confused because I have listed Best Player here, but I believe he has competing ban because he's team with Rue from the tournament.
I didn't read the rules. If you compete for a team and the team is banned, you can't go to other team. I don't know.
No, I'm sorry. It's just we decided to give them Irvin and Best Player because they were the responsible players. They were
Okay.
yeah, and I think the 3 games have now actually passed. No, they have not. So technically, they still cannot play. I mean, they can be signed, and if they make it to the final, they possibly can play. But yeah, like Ilval's saying, Quaresma, in my opinion, has been signed, but maybe I am overlooking this one as well. But he's most definitely in Victoria's squad right now, and he is active. So maybe I'm just overlooking something. Interesting.
I cannot tell.
There's
right
a
now.
lot going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an older. This is from February when Victoria made some different transfers. Then they brought Quaresma in already, but he hasn't played yet. And that's when Playmaker got released as well. And Wolfie got transferred from Not a Crew. So that's when it happened. And now they brought in Menace Lampicu, Pedri from Final Fantasy, and best player in Durban as well. So this is just like all of the combined transfers across the month, but I mean the transfer window is still open, so they could still try and see if something else changes.
Wow. So I'm checking out Victoria's squad.
Yeah, it's a bit.
It's back to they went back to a Polish team once again. So many Polish flags.
Yeah, they went back to their roots. I mean, it is an OG team of TPM, and obviously by the old net soccer players. And it would be also the first time if a team like that wins a competition, because No Factory hasn't done it. But either Victoria or No Factory still have the chance to do so this time around. But Galatasaray, on the other hand, their transfers do seem a bit underwhelming compared to that. But surprisingly, they let go of Ronin. He also left, but I'm not sure why. I guess maybe they also suspected that he is a Smurf. He's a player that isn't who he's pretending to be. He might be a very well net soccer player like he claims to be, but there have been like rumors going around that he might be a player just competing under a VPN, so maybe that's for the better. And Davesi, who also is a returning player, he played in the Reborn League, but looks like he isn't just that active, and Galatasaray decided to let go of him. But instead, they have brought in Mirazu, of course, from Barca Prime, who folded, Shrakson, and now rest of the players, such as Phoenix, Phil, and Aguero, seem to be under a question mark, because what I've understood and what Phil said to me is that Blank Orkmans doesn't want the players to compete who already left the team, even though they are still registered. So we might not see Phoenix, Aguero, and we definitely won't see Phil. But we'll have to see. Will there be any other transfers? Because right now the team is a bit lacking comparing to Special Forces.
Yeah, well, they're all very, very good signs. I think both teams improve a lot.
Yeah.
Phoenix is going to Galatasaray or is not? We still don't know if he is going to be able to play.
Yeah, I mean Phoenix is in the M6 family, the new team created by Dark Sea and Polter and them. So, yes, we also have to mention to complete the losses of New Factory. They already lost Lumpy, but they also lost Polter. They also lost Menes, and they also lost Kuribak. And also Kedira and a lot of other players have left them recently. And right now I only counted 3 attackers in their squad. One of them being Levy, the others I think Olamo and Mister. So No Factory surprisingly gone from a very attacking team to a very defensive sided team.
It looks like everyone's going back to their roots, because I remember Nut Factory as a very, solid defensive team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, historically.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, we see, for example, Slowcat returning, which is a very good sign. A very strong defender and can play bigger body sizes, similar to Drosto. So that's definitely positive. We see Olmo playing more often as well. So yeah, No Factory might just be changing up their squad, but I mean, they still have the likes of Sepsiak. They still have Kyrie Irving, who I think won't be leaving for Victoria. So No Factory still have something to use there.
And they
yeah.
do have Levy that is leading
obviously.
goals and assistance.
Yeah, everything as usual. Yeah, I think this is for transfers because the rest of the teams haven't really done anything. Final Fantasy's status quo. And Endgame, obviously not mixing anything up either. They have their squad, they have their players, and that's not destined to change anytime soon. If they're just gonna make a new team and with the same players. But yeah, let's look at the, like you said, you directed my attention towards the stat table, and indeed, Levi's top scorer and top of the assists leaderboard as well. And together with Poulter, they've been ruining that Group B. Obviously, nearly every game has been about 10 goals or so. So makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a bit unfair to compare the stats as the groups were so, I think, so differently balanced. Like one of the group was very even, and the other group was a bit. There was a very higher difference between the teams.
Yeah.
But still, it's great to score an assistance, because you see the next one is not even close. Because Justin Bieber, okay, 11 goals, but I don't see his one assistance.
Yeah. Yeah, rest of Endgame, they've had some strong victories. They had that 10-goal game against Napoli, but the rest have been five goals or so. So JP in there up with 7 goals, but from other teams we see LM with actually a very modest amount, only 6 goals on his name, and Francesco Totti, Paschi is following up with 5 each.
Yes, do you think that Final Fantasy is missing, this facepalm's fast passing style? That with
Yeah.
facepalm, they, like, all the players touch the ball more often, and facepalm just was some kind of wall that distribute the play. And now their play is a bit slow, so against strong defenders, they are not really able to force their way in. Just, skill check the defender and just beat him and score. It's like it's not being possible for them.
Yeah, possible. I mean, right now they use like Inua and Mlodi on midfield. Sometimes I think there was Kerolos there. Sometimes Riku, and yeah, this it's not that cut out as Rogue Family's strategy was. They seem to be a bit more rotational as well. So we'll see if something more clear and apparent is being used in the playoffs phase. But yeah, Aguero, a surprisingly up there as well with 4 goals, who has been scoring against No Factory as well, and don't know if he will feature in playoffs then, but maybe he will. Bugs Bunny as well there with 3 goals, and like somebody said that on the stream. Yeroshenko said that Bugs Bunny is underrated there. But I think that's it on the group stage front and on the cup stage front altogether. And if possible, I will be bringing our guest in very soon. I will be mentioning him very soon.
The secret special guest.
Okay. Where
Is
is
he already coming?
he? I'm calling him now. But as I was a bit too much lost at all of the cup situation. Apparently, already an hour has passed actually in our stream, so it's been a long time already, and we still have quite a bit of viewers. So thank you everybody for sticking with us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Well, he's not responding now, so I have to find something to do right now, and I do have a clip I can show everyone, I think, which is a throwback to an old competition. I believe that was in the last cup season. Yeah, it's this one where Bruno, not this one, and let me just scroll it right back. This is Special Forces against Leamington game in the last cup season in the group stage, where Bruno against Leamington manages to get past pretty much all of the players and just walks the ball in. I haven't seen something similar actually, so this is a very, very nice goal and a nice throwback. Bruno, I think that season in particular, he finished very high up there on assist table as well. So he's a great player. He's a difficult character, but he's a great player.
He's very good at dribbling. How didn't he lose the ball?
I'm surprised.
There?
Yeah, just lucky maybe with the rebound. Sweet Pumpkin can
Yes, there
clear
is
it.
the ball to rebound, and he gets it back.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It
There, Sweet
reminds
Pumpkin
me,
wasn't ready.
this kind of Messi goals that, okay, Messi is super good and super skilled, but sometimes every single rebound look to go
Yeah,
to
it
his
just
feet.
seems to be going his
Maybe
way.
because
Yeah.
he's just good, and he
Yeah.
is able to catch the rebounds, but it's kind of very, very Messi goal.
Yeah, it is. It is like a bit like Messi's goal. So, once again, our guest is not responding. So,
Unlucky guess. We
yeah,
hope he's
it's
still alive.
it's not the same as last time. Yeah, last time it was LM, and I think he wasn't ready to come on this time. So, I was trying another one. Maybe I can still catch someone, but who knows?
Online players.
Yeah, I'm not so sure, honestly.
LM is not online.
Yeah, LM is no, LM is not online. Yeah, but I was trying to I was trying to catch hold of Casper. He was supposed to be our guest today, but yeah, um, just not available right now. I'll see. Maybe there is someone else wanting to come in, but possibly not. If not, we will end the stream here and we'll have other episode soon because this has been going on for a while now, anyways. But for that, at least, I will show some clips of old underdogs team that won the first edition of TPM FA League, the first official kind of official organized tournament under some kind of a well operating organizer. If you don't want to call Reborn League a properly organized tournament, because we don't have much data available of it, anyways. And yeah, let's see if I have these clips available. That's actually from the cup. Actually, that's the first season of the cup, not the league, I believe. But I could be wrong as well. I have so many of these replays available to me. This is where Axie scores, and Tama is in goal. So I believe it was the cup season, because before that Tama didn't play goalkeeper. This is where LM passes nicely, evades LM's tackle, and Axie with a nice cross turn. I'm sorry, shot there. And it's actually interesting to see how many of Underdog's players are now across all the different teams. I mean, LM back in Final Fantasy now. Normio was in Victoria, but still looking for a team now. Axie is in Endgame. Lumpy Q, well, was in New Factory for a long while, but also now in Victoria. And Thai as well was together in Victoria, actually. And the more I think of it, the more I realize that Victoria SC was very similar to Underdogs in that first composition once they were preparing for the cup, because they even had Oji, who was featuring in Underdogs for a long while.
I just checked the M6 team, but it does only have one player.
What do you mean it has only one player?
M6 boys. the team.
Maybe that's some second team. I think it's the M6 family. What you're supposed to be looking at? Wait, I'm gonna see it. It's
M6 family,
yeah, I
0
think that's
players.
a second team. I think that's some kind of a fake team, or they made a new one. I have no idea because M6 family, M6 family was the real one, but now they made another one. I'm not so sure why they made a new one. If you go to like yeah, I'm gonna see what happened to M6 family then. Poor Polter once again with the club. Yeah, all of the players left M6 family. What happened there?
I don't know.
Darksea kicked all of them.
Darksea kicked all of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was just like less than an hour ago because I saw it all like what. Yeah, okay then. It's interesting. I'm not so sure what's the thing. Maybe they didn't want these players because I think some of them were invited by Polter, and now they just. But then just get rid of Polter. But anyways, yeah, we have. I have another clip as well. This has been playing for already quite a while. Let's see if Casper has responded to me. No, he hasn't, sadly. We have a Casper's goal, which I wanted to show and talk about and ask him if he remembers it, this one specifically. This is from the first edition of the TPM FA League, the first season now. I think it's fourth round game or so, or was it sixth? But yeah, anyways, you see some quite old teams here, considering G&J is still an underdogs, and Special Forces, also has some players who you don't see a lot these days. Levy said in chat that Darksea raged. Well, fair enough. I'm not sure why would you then take on a team by yourself, but yeah.
I have never seen Darksea angry, so
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I barely see him talk at all, actually. So yeah, that's interesting. What seems to be the case there. And
maybe that happens. He
yeah.
got an assault rifle and started shooting people out.
And we also have a very nice play from the same game from the archives, Special Forces against Underdogs. Casper with a
So
nice.
sneaky finish.
What?
Casper finishing the play in the nearest post.
Yeah. It was.
I guess you, as a goalkeeper, hate him because of that. Because I
It's
guess you feel just so annoyed when you jump to the second post and the guy just.
I started to understand that when I applied as goalkeeper for New Factory. That's when I think I made like a bit of a jump once again in like goalkeeping abilities. I think Drostava and Kiro told me to usually cover near post because a lot of players usually go for it anyways. And the perception as well. If you're playing like the bottom half in the goal, it's gonna be really hard to tell. Like, is the ball gonna hit the post? Is it gonna go in because the post covers it up so badly? It's really hard to understand that. And the all of the goals graphic part.
And and everybody's shooting to the nearest post.
Yeah, usually. I mean,
Okay,
unless it's
there are
Phoenix
mind
who can
games, right?
just score from anywhere, or Polter who usually tries from long distance. Yeah.
Because as human goalkeeper, okay, you have slower reaction time than the machine one, as is expected.
That's a very
But
good
you are
question. I mean,
much more.
is there like a determined speed for the goalkeeper, the bot goalkeeper? Because I think there is, and I believe humans can definitely overcome that, at least with a bit of luck. I mean,
But on closer shoots, you cannot react to the shoot. You have to guess, or can you react?
yeah, you usually have to guess. So with penalties, I'm just it's pretty much a game of luck. I mean, I've tried. I've recently been trying to go for like usually the position like the player is starting to like shoot from, but then you have a very very tiny window to guess on unless that shot is really slow in pace, but usually they aren't. So
Yes, if the player is, a joking player,
yeah,
this kind of guy that are always joking and always making fun of everybody,
yeah,
he's going to shoot to the center.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, I've saved penalties just by standing in the center. I'm just thinking like, yeah, fuck it, he might be going, and it happens, and then you like end up with the ball, and you're like, it's funny, but usually it's just luck. Yeah. Well,
To be
it's
honest, in my
yeah,
opinion, it doesn't make any sense to shoot to the center,
yeah,
because I think if you execute a perfect shoot, it's impossible for the goalkeeper.
yeah. I think so too. To be honest.
So why would you risk it to the center? But it's an option. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
So I think we'll be closing the stream because I don't see Casper joining us anytime soon, which is unlucky once again. We are going on with all the guests, but maybe we can do another stream soon just for the guests. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. You can see the playoffs bracket once again. Galatasaray Special Forces on Saturday, Final Fantasy and Victoria SC on Sunday, and then already on the next week we'll have the semi-finals and we'll see the big guns in as well. What do you think, Radorf? How did it go?
Sorry, which one?
What?
I didn't understand your question
No, I
well.
mean like, what do you think of the stream? Was it good enough?
Oh, the string. Yeah, I think it's nice. I am a bit upset because I didn't have much time to really prepare. As I
That's
am
unlucky.
I'm
Yeah.
switching projects in my company. I have a shit ton of work, but I think it was fun. I hope people enjoy it.
Yeah.
Are really thoughtful, thoughtful analyzing.
Yeah, very thoughtful indeed.
And I hope we do it more often. It's really for me it's
Yeah.
really fun.
Let's aim towards that, and thank you everyone for watching as well. We still have 7 concurrent viewers, which is crazy. You've all been here for like an hour and a quarter already. Please get something to eat or something. I hope you're all okay, and we will see you soon. Bye bye.
See you, people.